second here that is going print is working. Anyway, actually, this make create a tree. The coming that. All right, so
Like for instance, if it's 1, it's going to pass
active red. Anything want to say? Two in that red.
through 2 and 3 to get low, and then it's going to break out. If it's 4, 5, or 6, it's going to pass through to get to mid, and then it's going to break out. 7, 8, 9, it's going to pass through to high and break out. So let's test this out and see. Since we're passing in the number 1 here, it's going to be low. But if we pass in 5, we should get mid. And if it's 7, 8, or 9, we should get high. Sometimes a switch statement can be easier to write and easier to understand than a chain of if-else statements. So we're going to change this chain of else-if statements to become a switch statement. So let's do that right now. So we're going to start with the switch keyword, and we're going to be evaluating the value with open curly bracket, and we'll have to make sure to have an in curly bracket at the end. So for case Bob, we're going to set the answer to Marley. And then we need to have a break answer. So for bracket else if statements to become a switch statement. So let's do that right now. So we're going to start with the switch keyword, and we're going to be evaluating the value with open curly bracket, and we'll have to make sure to have an in curly bracket at the end. So for case Bob, we're going to set the answer to Marley. And then we need to have a break in here. For case 42, we're going to set the answer to the answer. For case 1, we'll set the answer to there is no number 1. Oh, we need a break up here. For case 99, the answer is missed by this much. And then we need a break. Now we have for case 7, well, 7, 8, 9, and break. And now we just changed that chain of else if statements into a switch statement. Here's a little trick when you want a function to return a boolean, a true or false value. You can see in this function, we're checking if a is less than b, and if so, we return true, else we return false. You may remember from before that all comparison operators return a boolean true or false value. So instead of using this if statement here, we can just do that. We can actually delete all of this and just return the result of this. We're just returning the result of A is less than B. So this is going to be true or false, and we can just skip that whole if statement logic and just return this. So if we console.log this out, console.log, we should be able to see if 10 is less than 15. 10 is less than 15, it's true. But if we put a 20 here, then it's false. We've already seen a few examples of this, but you can return early from a function with the return statement. So if you see this function right here, we return at the very end of the function, and so it leaves the function and returns this value from the function. But you can leave the function anytime with a return statement. So we're going to modify this function so that if a or b are less than 0, the function will immediately exit with a value of undefined. So let's do that. We're going to set an if statement. If a is less than 0, or that's two pipes, b is less than 0, then we're going to return
Undefined.
undefined. So we can do a test here, console.log 8, but what if this is a negative number? It's going to return undefined. Scrimba has a little quirk here where it just shows null, but in a browser it will show undefined. We are going to create a blackjack card counting function. So how card counting works, at least how this function is going to work, is that when you see a low card, the count goes up, and when you see a high card, the count goes down, and if it's a middle value card, the count stays the same. And then when the count is positive, the player should bet high. And when the count is 0 or negative, the player should bet low. So we are going to use a switch statement to figure out what card has been passed in and what to do about it. You can see that the function looks like this. CC, and we pass in a card. And depending on what the card is, it's going to increase this global count variable, or it's going to decrease it, or it's going to stay the same. And then we are going to return two things.
Hola. Alright, I'm back.
We're not going to return change me. We are going to return the current count value and whether the player should hold or bet. So every time you call the CC function, it's going to change this count value and return the total count. So let's see how this is going to work. We are going to use the switch statement, like I said, and we're going to check the card value that was passed in. So if the case is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we are going to increment the count variable. So we're going to do it like this. Case 2. I'm going to do some copying and pasting. If the case is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we'll just have to actually change these values. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, there are many ways to write any program. This could be done with if statements and else statements. It could be even done with other ways that we haven't even talked about yet. As long as the program works, in this case, that's all that matters. So if you find a different way to write this program, that's great. So if the case is 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, we are going to take the count value, and if we just do plus plus, that increments it by 1, and then we're going to break. Now, if the case is 7, 8, 9,
Alright, yeah, that's cool. Plus plus means plus, right?
so let's paste in 3 of these. We'll do 7, 8, 9. Actually, we're going to do nothing. The count is not going to change at all. So we don't even need case 7 or 8, 9. So instead of doing 7, 8, 9, we just need to check in the case that something's actually going to happen. So we are going to decrement the count variable if we have 10, jack, queen, king, or ace. So that's what we're going to change this to. 10, jack, queen, king, or ace.
And count
In
minus
this
minus.
case, we're going to decrement the count. So we can do count minus minus. So that's the same as count equals count minus 1. And then we will break. Now we've taken care of the count and updating the count. Now we have to take care of what we're going to return. We are going to return the count, and we're also going to return whether we are going to hold or bet. So we're going to actually return a variable, but first there's going to be a space. There's a space between the number, and then we're going to return the hold bet variable. Now this is a variable we haven't created yet. Normally this would be the perfect time to use the ternary operator, but we haven't learned that yet, and we're not.
Alright, so this is black, check, count. Let's try to do it without act. So we're going to create a function, card, count, and then this is going to be RC count. Switch running count. But case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6 going to be running. char running count plus 1. Then we're going to break case then case check case green case king case case b running count minus 1. Break
not going to learn that for a few more lessons, so I won't use that now. We are going to set what that hold bet value is. First, we'll create the hold bet variable hold bet, and we'll set it to hold. However, if count is more than 0, then we can set hold bet to equal bet. So
okay, so let's running count bet count is negative with case minimum count
now this
okay. Link count, and then we want to return count
should work. Let's test it out and see if we've made any mistakes yet. Hold bet
Duh.
is not defined. Well, we have it right here. Oh, we spelled that wrong. So instead of
Oh. That makes more sense.
halt bet, that should be hold bet. Okay, in this case, we're going to bet because we had a bunch of positive numbers and then negative numbers. But if we change this to k, and we change this to pin,
$120. Oh.
Let's see what happens. Now we're going to hold. Okay, it worked. So a test here, pass. So we can do count minus minus. So that's the same as count equals count.
Horizon count. If count.
Count minus 1. And then we will break. Now we've taken care of the count, updating the count. Now we have to take care of what we're going to return. We are going to return the count, and we're also going to return whether we are going to hold or bet. So we're going to actually return a variable, but first there's going to be a space. There's a space between the number, and then we're going to return the hold bet variable. Now this is a variable we haven't created yet. Normally this would be the perfect time to use the ternary operator, but we haven't learned that yet, and we're not going to learn that for a few more lessons, so I won't use that now. We are going to set what that hold bet value is. First, we'll create the hold bet variable hold bet.
It's actually not positive. Jack queen 8. Huh. The problem.
Objects. Objects that hold that hold bet. Now this is a variable we haven't created yet. Normally this would be the perfect time to use the ternary operator, but we haven't learned that yet, and we're not going to learn that for a few more value is. Let's see if well, we have it right here. Hold, oh, we spelled that wrong. So instead of halt bet, that should be hold bet. Okay, in this case, we're going to bet because we had a bunch of positive numbers and then negative numbers. But if we change this to k, and we change this to 10, let's see what happens. Now we're going to hold.
Yeah, I don't get it. Hmm.
Hold. Okay, it worked here. Hold. If we just do plus plus, that increments it by 1, and then we're going to break. Now, return the count, and we're also going to return whether we are going to hold or bet. So we're going to actually return a variable, but first there's going to be a space. There's a space between the number, and then we're going to return the hold bet variable. Now this is a variable we haven't created yet. Normally this would be the perfect time to use the ternary operator, but we haven't learned that yet, and we're not going to learn that for a few more lessons, so I won't use that now. We are going to set what that hold bet value is.
create a car. Case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6. Then case check case string. Var bit whole. Hmm. Hello. 021 blackjack automation. Wanted to use card instead of CC product? No, because listen, the problem is my code. Let me see. Wait to you. This is my code. Card count. Have a look at it and tell me if there's this. For example, this should be a plus count. It's saying 5. CC 0. I should card. Okay. So this should be card. Think so? Why is it not displaying? Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. Fuck. Okay, so instead of instead of the function, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so this +1 +3 +2. Why does it say 5? Hmm. Does it make sense? Like, this is +3, this is +4, not +5. No, this is +3. This A now. A code. Oh my god. Hard. I don't get it though. It's not different from his code. Oh god. Oh my god. So fucking retarded. They should make so dumb. Okay, so it alright. Need running C run C. Is it negative though? No, it's not. Oh. Okay, running count is 0. Then any of these are plus. This is the same as writing. Yeah, it is the same, right? Okay. Oh, it is positive 1. Yeah, it tells me because running count, for example, I know how to count cards. Okay. This is why it it makes sense to me. Because okay, so function is card count. Let's try to break. RC is the case. Every every number of cards. Okay, let's make it clear. Card number. Okay, and this will make it running count. Card count. Running count. Card number. If card number is this will be the final count. Okay. So if the card number 2, 4, 5, 6, then the final count will increase by 1. Okay, makes sense, right? Got a break, and then if card number is 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, final count will equal -1. Let's try this. If it doesn't work out, try to find another. So var. Oh, I think I had 2 of the same vars. Might be. Card number is not defined. Okay. Know why? Oh. Card number. Let's finish. This should be the same, right? Yeah, it should. Okay. Var running count. Running count is negative. There is minimum bet. Okay. If, which would be card. Would it be card number? Yeah, if card number higher than a 0. Yes. Yes. And then we return the card number. Is this right? Oh, because we're returning the card number, we should return the card count. I want to kill. Switch card number. Card number. Final count. It should make sense. Oh my god. Wait. No, but it's -1. -1, right? Make it 0. I'm Bulgarian. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've been speaking English, man. So, where are you from? Okay, so this shouldn't be 0. Thank you for the follow, man. Did it. I live in Spain though, but I'm living here for it's gonna be a very long journey. I can feel it. So, final count -1 should be 0. What if we do plus plus? Is it gonna change anything? No, it doesn't. Does it? No, it doesn't. -2 right now. Probably gonna stay at -2. Don't get if card number. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's technically true, but so should it be final count? No, no, because this is -1, so this is lower than 0. At least that's what I think. Am I right or am I right? Final count. Yeah, this makes sense. Plus running count. Running count is negative. But check. 3. Oh my god, I'm so fucking retarded. There is no card that is 1. Okay, this makes sense. Oh my god. Okay, this is it. because there was no actual case that was 1. I had 1 here. So now if we write b minus 3, there we go. But if we write like another 3 and 4, it should be plus 1. There we go. Why does it say it's negative now though? Yeah, it should final count. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, I think just to make it better, I need to do it again. Makes a lot. Okay, so and need okay a var that is final. I'm gonna do differently. Let's do it with followers. Follower count. Have 0 followers. And then we're gonna do a function. Today's followers today. This is gonna be a bit more new follower. Okay. And then we're gonna switch new follower case sample. I don't want to do numbers. Or actually we can do it with and case true. Case 1 when does the casino nah man, fuck casinos. This is better, more interesting. But actually just so you I've got these right here. No, because Bulgarian casinos don't have they have continuous shuffle machines. And they do so in Barcelona. Kinda fucked up. But I've done it in Sweden. Don't even know. So it's funny though. At least you could pretend you count cards. I'm 19. I haven't been all around the world though. I wish. Okay, so case 1 would be follower count equals count equals follower count plus 1. 2 would be follower count equals follower count minus 1. Turning 20 this year, by the way. So I'm leaving the teenager year. That's why I'm learning learning coding. Yeah, break here. Need another break here. That makes sense in my head. Okay, so yeah, we're not gonna need it. Right? Yeah. Ah, how can we? Okay, for now it makes sense. But for I think if we do okay, let me see. Function follower today. New follower, case 1. So if we did switch 1, switch 2, switch 1, what would give an error? So, why though? I mean, switch is the same as else if, right? Yeah, I don't want to get used to it, but I want to learn it. Oh yeah, so we need a var yes, I understand. Okay. So we need a var at example hello. That is going to be the for new follower. If Let me see. 113. I mean, it shows an error now. To be honest, I'll try to understand. It was this one, right? 113. Because I called it twice, right? No. Why? Switch something instead of. Let's try. No. Whatever. I don't want to, like, I wanted to, because that one made no sense. Okay. So now we need if. New follower. Lower than 1. Hello equals to you lost a follower. I really hope. Makes for now. Follower today's. No, doesn't. I don't think so. Out of his followers today. Oh, it returns no. But why though? So if we do followers today 1, followers today 1, followers today 2. But followers today 1. Which one is not defined? Console log follower count. Oh. Oh. But I have to return return hello plus follower count. And now where? Yeah, hard man. Maybe I should make a new final result. Yeah, I know. But can I not log the bar? It'd be a return. Should be a return, right? Okay, I get it now. If new followers, how to? Okay, I get it. But how do I hold this case in the? Can I do it? Because it's not returning. You lost the. Or should this be like reversed? I think it makes sense, right? That works. But what do you mean by inside? Wait, I think I can. Like, can someone edit it? If I share it with mean, I guess this should be, yeah, this didn't make sense. Because it was like, if new follower was lower than 1. Now it will work again. If I write 0 follower, if I write 1, get a new follower. Okay. Then I could add the default right. So if I write a 3, wrong channel. There we go. I think I need to do it public. I think shared code editor, app edit, code share. Looks like a better one. Let's do this. JavaScript. There you go. Am I supposed to add nodes? It's better for comments. I know I should have. Not either way. But this makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. This made it weak. We can't see what you're coding. Yeah, I know, I know. I'm not coding right now. Just with a viewer. Teaching me stuff. Let me see how to fix this. Shows your bro. My skills are trash. Right? Not working. But this is So, conclusion, our message, instead of doing the var outside, I could just output the var as, right? Am I right? Right. Or doesn't seem right? No, because I haven't saved it. Followers count is not defined. It's followers. Are you sure? Count follower? No, bro. Oh, followers today. Don't make me feel bad about it. Console log follower count. Yeah, but this is if I wanted to know that like the exact follower count. But if I want to get the message, then it's followers today. See? PHP? No, it's not. This is Java. Wait, what do you mean? Don't make me look stupid. PHP script? Did I even learn PHP? Like, I've tried, like, I looked it up, and most of the people said that PHP is like dying with Node. I don't know. I mean, I first have to learn Java, so. Ah, you're not a developer? No, this is JavaScript. 10 years. Holy fuck. But PHP is still a thing because, like, with WordPress themes, you can make a lot of money, right? Yeah, but Ruby is not a thing either anymore. Hmm. What's Laravel about? PHP framework with text. Yeah, Laravel is like Laravel is a library for PHP, I think. What the fuck? You're not a developer, but you know you know the languages? Alright, let's move on. Reading the name.
First, we'll create the hold bet variable, variable hold bet, and we'll set it to cold.
Told this already. A
Now,
lot of struggles.
now objects. Objects are similar to arrays, except that instead of using indexes to access data, you use properties. So here's an object called our dog. Objects are going to be defined with these curly
Oh, okay.
braces before, at the beginning and the end, and these are the properties. Now, the properties are everything before the colons. So
Objects.
we have name, that's a property, legs is a property, and then the values are the things after the colons here. So the name is camper, the legs 4, tails, there's only one tail on this dog, and friends are everything. Now you can see that with the properties can be strings, they can be numbers, they can be arrays, they can be any data type in JavaScript. So now we are going to
What's better? Like front end development? I can. As far as I know, so as far as I can imagine, back end is boring. I think I've got the basics of HTML and CSS. So um gonna learn Java now, a few months, hopefully, and then I'll learn React. Gotta nail down CSS, like have it perfect. It's gonna be a long run. By design, I mean graphics, web design. Web design, no. I mean graphics design, like Photoshop. This is not a Photoshop stream, but I can show you this. The website I made for WordPress. Example. This is the one of the logos. And yeah, still, let's get back to what we're here. At all.
defined with these curly braces before, at the beginning and the end, and these are the properties. Now the properties are everything before the colons. So we have name, that's a property, legs is a property, and then the values are the things after the colons here. So the name is camper, the legs 4, tails, there's only one tail on this
All right,
dog,
man. I'm
and
here every
friends are
day for the next
everything. Now you can
365
see
days.
that
So
with the
hope I see
properties
you.
can be
You're
strings,
gonna
they
see
can
me
be
for sure.
numbers, they can be arrays, they can be any data type in JavaScript.
Thank you for
So
the tips.
now we
Have
are
a nice
going
day.
to create our own dog. So this is going to have a name. Personally, I like the name Quincy. So we'll use that for our dog's name. Also, we're going to have legs. Unfortunately, our dog has had an accident. He only has 3 legs. But to make up for the only having 3 legs, he does have 2 tails. And for friends, another unfortunate thing, it's an empty array. He has no friends. Okay, we've now created our own object. There are 2 main ways to access a property on an object. The first I will talk about is dot notation. So we have this test object, and we have hat, shirt, and shoes, and we want to find out the value of these properties. So right here, the hat value, we're going to set to test object. Now here's where we use the dot notation. We just put a dot or a period, and then I put the name of the property, dot hat. And then for the shirt value, I will do dot shirt. So see this word right here is just the word here. So the value of hat value, test object dot hat, is now going to be ball cap, and the value of the shirt value is going to be Jersey. Besides using dot
Pause here. So object var. Try not to. I var object var a lot of money. Here. No. Computer. Now I could do this object.
And the value of the shirt value is going to be Jersey. We're going to set to test object. Now here's where we use the dot notation. We just put a dot.
Var.
dot or a period, and then I put the name of the property, dot hat. And then for the shirt value, I will do dot shirt. So see, this word right here is just the word here. So the value of hat value, test object dot hat, is now going to be ball cap, and the value of the shirt value is going to be jersey. Besides using dot notation, you can also use bracket notation to access a property in an object. You can use bracket notation anytime, but it is required if the name has a space in it. You can see in this object, we have three properties and each of them have a space. So to get the value of these properties, we're going to have to use bracket notation. So the entree value, we're going to do test object, that's the name of the object, and then we're going to put brackets kind of like an array index. So you need the opening and closing brackets, and inside we will put the name of the property. So I'll do an entree, and then we can do it again down here for the drink value, and I'll use a single quote this time instead of a double quote to show that each of those will work. The drink, and then we need the closing brackets here. So now entree value is set to equal hamburger, and drink value is set to equal water. Bracket notation can also be used to look up object properties using variables. So here we have this test object. We have these different numbers associated with these names here, and we are going to set this variable to be one of the numbers. So I'll set this to be 16. So now we can, in this test object, 16 is Montana, and we can look that up using the variable name instead of the number. So instead of putting 16, I'm going to put player number in here. And now player is set to the string Montana, and we use this variable to look up the object property. We can use dot notation to update object properties. Here you can see an object called our dog. It has a name, legs, tails, friends, and the name is Camper. However, here we use dot notation rdog.name and use the assignment operator, the equal sign, to set the name to happy camper. So if we did console.log on rdog.name, it would no longer be camper, it would be happy camper. Well, we have another dog here with the name of Coder, but we want to change the name to Happy Coder. So that's what I'll do right here. So my dog dot name equals Happy Coder. So just like above, we use dot notation to set the object property to a new value. You can add new properties to an object using dot notation or bracket notation. So here's an example right here. We have this object, our dog, and there's four properties here. But down here, we're adding a new property. Our dog.bark equals bow wow. So it had four properties, but now it has five properties as the property bark as well. Now down here, we'll add a property to the my dog object. So we can do my dog, and then here I'm going to use bracket notation instead of dot notation. Bark, I'm going to set that to equal woof. And because he's yelling it, we'll have an exclamation point. And that's how you add properties to objects. It's simple to delete a
Okay,
property
good.
from an object. Then equations do on here 4 properties, but now it has 5 properties as the property bark as well. Now down here, we'll add a property to the myDog object. So
Okay.
we can do myDog, and then here I'm going to use bracket notation instead of dot notation. Bark, I'm going to set that to equal woof. And because he's yelling it, we'll have an exclamation point. And that's how you add properties to objects. It's simple to delete a property from an object. Our rdog object has all these properties, and with the delete keyword, delete rdog.bark. So now this property here, the bark, has been deleted and is no longer in the object after we've deleted it. So we can do the same thing down here. And this time, we will delete the tails property, mydog.tails. So now the mydog object no longer has a tails property. Objects can be thought of as a key value storage like a dictionary. You can use an object to look up values. So in this case, we have a switch statement that returns certain values. So when you pass in alpha to the function, it returns Adams. If you pass in Bravo, it returns Boston. We can replace this switch statement with an object and use the object for lookups instead of the switch statement. Let me show you how that's done. I'm going to create var lookup. This is going to be an object here. And the object is going to have a bunch of key value pairs. So we have alpha, and that's going to be Adams. And then we have Bravo, and the value for Bravo is going to be Boston. And that's it. So we can now delete this whole switch statement. And now we can say result equals lookup. In bracket notation, we put the value that was passed in. And then I forgot one thing, which was the equal sign here, because lookup equals this object. And let's do a test. So let me put console.log so we can actually see what happens here. So if we do Charlie, we're going to get Chicago. If we do Foxtrot, the result will be Frank. So it works. The result will be do Foxtrot, Chicago. If we do Charlog, and let's do a test. It's passed in. And then I forgot one thing, which was the equal sign here, because lookup equals this object. And let's do a test.
Alright, I think we're going to leave it here for today. Too much information I need to process. But yeah, back with the stream. Yeah, YouTube. Make sure you comment. Make sure you follow us all. Thank you for everyone watching today.